Peace, 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 peace. And may this transmission find those who are meant to hear this. Um, Yesterday I was watching Real Kia. She usually pops up on I used to see her on TikTok, and just one day I just stopped. And months later, maybe a year later, she popped up on my YouTube. And every now and then, either someone sends me Kia's videos or she'll pop up on my timeline. And I think within the last 3 or 4 months, she's popped up about 2 or 3 times. And yesterday, I've never caught her live, but I caught her live yesterday. And I was I was watching her video, in her live, and I wasn't in sync with the timeline because when I made it there, it was probably about a couple of minutes late or 5 minutes late. And I wanted to see the video that she was referring to. And it's actually a guy that I've been following for a very long time. And I mean, it's been about a good 7, 8 years I've been following him, and I've seen his growth, I've seen him grow. And I've also seen something in him that she talked about yesterday. I seen it. And I may have seen it because I've been through it. I've been through so many. I actually wrote a book about the abuse that I've endured and received. And I understand a lot more now. Um, the abuse, you know, why it happened. I'm not gonna say why it had to happen, but why it had to happen. And I will not repeat his name because I don't want to um, promote any negativity. But if you choose to go and watch Real Kia's video, by all means, do so. Um, I'll link her video in the description below, by the way. So crazy because I am I just paused this video and I look down and I see 13 bullets. And the first number I seen is synchronized with this video was 13. However, let's get back to the message. Um, so the young beautiful soul, she gets on social media and she admits to being abused and how she can't take it no more after having baby after baby after baby by this soul. She's sitting there with this big old black eye, and it just hurt my soul. And I'm just like, you know, I've been through so much of that end of abuse, and it's tearing me up because it's a real touchy subject. And I often ask Spirit, I'm like, why am I not where I would like to be yet? And I get it. I still have things to sort through and work through, and I'm okay with that, right? However, there were other videos that Kia um, previewed on her live, and it was women talking about they would never have a child, and men all they want is such and such such. And I have no opinion about that. However, I would definitely like to say, you know, my babies were the best thing that could have happened for me. And even though I went through fucking hell with my children, it doesn't make it any less rewarding and appreciating because we chose one another. And I understand that they were here to trigger me to my next place in space. And when we stop looking at life for what we think it is and what it could be, we would understand so much more. And let me also say this, listening to those women, it was their opinions to say, oh, I would never have a child, and men this, and and men only do this, and I mean, it was a lot of negative talk about the counterparts. However, however, that's their opinions, and I take nothing from that. But I will say this: we don't know what our lives are. And just because we don't have a certain situation doesn't mean that the situation will not happen the way that it's planned to happen and supposed to happen. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. So, say you're a woman that is listening to these women talk about, oh, you shouldn't have babies by men. You shouldn't have babies by men. And why everywhere I go is a damn dog. Um, barking dog rather. Um, so there are women saying, and there are women listening to the women say, "Oh, you shouldn't have babies by men," and da 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 da. The thing is, you don't have to have a baby. You can have a dog, and you still get the same energy and response and alignment from that dog. We're looking at things so wrong, and there were women, I mean, just pouring their hearts out, crying because they're saying a baby was the worst thing that happened to them. But I won't voice my opinion about it. For me, I went through a rough, rough situation with my babies. And had it not been for them, I wouldn't be where I am today. One of my children were the reason I graduated high school. One of my children are the reason that I was going to leave planet Earth. And that same one was the reason that I stayed on planet Earth. Um, One of them is the reason that I'm connecting more with my divine feminine energy. I mean, it's so many. I could just go down the list with my babies and just be like, oh my God, it was a reason for them. There's a season for every moment and situation. And if we determine our lives by fear, by what someone else's circumstances hold, then we are in deep, deep trouble because our lives are for our own until they're not. We're here for a bigger plan and bigger purpose. And I'm not saying that we're supposed to stop having babies. I'm not saying that we're not supposed to stop having babies. I don't know. I am not that's not where my truth lies. That's not where my life is leading me. I don't think. However, life is amazing and beautiful and wonderful if we allow it. Keep this in mind. Everything. And when I say everything, I'm like Cat Williams. Everything. 818. Everything. Okay? Everything. All is mental. All is mental. That saying that goes, life is what you make it, it's how you process it. It's how you think it. It's how you imagine it. And a lot of us don't understand that when we conjure these thoughts up in our mind to be something that is not or something that it is, we get exactly that. And then we look around and we blame things outside of us. Well, abdi. That's all, folks. And I'm going to leave it right there. With that being said, you are loved. You are loved. Tap in to the true you and don't allow anyone to take that from you. Be you. Be authentic in you. Be imaginative in you. Be loved in who you are. It's okay. Once again, you're loved. Peace. Have an amazing rest of your day.